Welcome to the Leading with AI podcast. Today, we're diving deep into a subject that is, well, not just relevant, but absolutely foundational for any leader trying to navigate the sheer speed of technological change. We're talking about responsible AI.
That's right.
Specifically, the critical interplay of ethics, governance, and, crucially, how these build competitive trust. Our guide for this incredibly insightful deep dive is Chapter 8 from Intelligent Advantage by Ryan Beckett. And the book, it delivers this really powerful, memorable thesis. Compliance is the floor. Trust is the moat.
That statement really resonates, doesn't it? It cuts right to the chase.
It does.
And it perfectly captures our mission for this deep dive. We're going to really unpack the many facets of responsible AI. We want to show how it's far more than just, say, a regulatory checkbox or some technical side project tucked away in IT.
Right. It's not just for the tech folks.
No, not at all. It is, in fact, a non-negotiable strategic imperative. It's the very bedrock, really, upon which enduring success and sustainable competitive advantage will be built, especially in what Beckett so aptly calls the age of intelligent advantage. So this conversation is, well, it's custom-tailored for you, the leader out there grappling with this complex, always shifting landscape of AI adoption, looking for real, actionable insights.
That's a perfect framing. Let's really dig into this because the transformative power of AI, I mean, we talk about it often, but its current evolution demands a deeper look, doesn't it?
It really does.
We're no longer just talking about, incremental automation or shaving off a few percentage points on efficiency. Intelligent Advantage makes it crystal clear that AI is fundamentally reimagining the very operating model of businesses. It's challenging these deep-seated assumptions about how we innovate, how we engage with customers, how we compete. This isn't just an upgrade. It feels like a paradigm shift affecting every single part of an organization.
And what's becoming, I think, increasingly obvious, and what Intelligent Advantage highlights with, frankly, stark clarity, is this widening gap, this chasm forming between the AI haves and the AI have-nots.
That's a worrying trend.
It is. On one side, you see companies that have really aggressively embraced AI, weaving it into their core operations, their strategic decision-making, and they're already showing tangible, often dramatic benefits, vastly improved forecast accuracy that cuts waste, optimizes inventory.
Huge cost savings.
Right. Radically reduced operational costs through intelligent automation, and even creating entirely new revenue streams that maybe weren't even conceivable before. Then on the other side, you've got organizations that either treat AI as an afterthought, maybe a little R&D project, or they just delegate it down without real C-suite engagement.
And they're falling behind.
They are. They're rapidly finding their traditional strategies are just gathering dust. They're struggling to keep pace as competitors innovate and pull ahead. The book really serves as a vital compass for leaders who see this new frontier and are determined, to be on the winning side of this divide.
And the message from the book is so clear. This AI revolution, as you called it, it isn't something you can just delegate down the chain of command.
Absolutely not.
You can't just hand it off to IT or a specialized data science team and expect, transformation. Beckett really emphasizes it demands ownership right from the very top, C-suite, board, executive leadership. It needs deliberate top-down leadership and an intentional journey, as the book puts it, into the age of intelligent advantage. You as a leader have got to be at the helm, actively guiding this, not just watching it happen.
Absolutely. And that strategic ownership, it leads us directly to the critical foundations of effective AI governance. Intelligent Advantage calls this the floor of compliance, right? The absolute non-negotiable prerequisite if you want to build anything sustainable or trustworthy with AI.
The floor, I like that.
Yeah. Without that solid foundation, your AI initiatives are, quite frankly, they're built on quicksand. And the most crucial element of this floor is robust data governance.
Data governance. We've all heard garbage in, garbage out, but with AI, that seems to take on a whole new level of meaning, doesn't it?
Oh, profoundly deeper. Yeah, data isn't just fuel for AI, it's the lifeblood. It defines its capabilities, its trustworthiness. Without high-quality, meticulously governed data, even the most brilliantly designed AI model is just, it's destined to produce unreliable, biased, or maybe even actively harmful outputs.
So for a leader listening, where do you even begin? It sounds like a massive undertaking, establishing robust data governance.
It is a comprehensive undertaking, no doubt. But the return on that investment is immense. Robust data governance ensures the absolute integrity of your AI systems. It starts with the basics, the fundamentals, ensuring data quality, accuracy, completeness, and timeliness. Think about it. If your customer purchase data is missing key entries, or maybe the timestamps are wrong, your AI personalization engine might recommend products at the wrong time or to the wrong segment.
Leading to lost sales, frustrated customers.
Exactly. And beyond those basics, you need robust data security and privacy measures, strict adherence to evolving global regulations, GDPR in Europe, CCPA in California, and others popping up all the time.
Right.
Leaders need clear data provenance and lineage protocols. You need to know exactly where every piece of data came from, how it was collected, every transformation it's undergone. That transparency is vital for auditing, for troubleshooting later on. And finally, clearly defining data ownership, setting up access rights, having explicit usage policies, and implementing proper retention schedules. That's all paramount. Without this foundational layer, your AI efforts just lack credibility and you're exposed to significant risk.
Okay, so once that data bedrock is solid, the focus shifts to the models themselves. That's where model governance and model risk management come in, including this concept of ModelOps. It sounds like a very thorough lifecycle approach, from the moment an idea sparks to when a model is finally retired.
That's exactly right. It's a complete lifecycle approach, and Intelligent Advantage details this really well. It starts with the initial idea, the conception of an AI model, its rigorous development, then comprehensive validation and testing, secure deployment into production, and, crucially, continuous real-world performance monitoring, regular retraining, and eventually, a graceful retirement when it's no longer fit for purpose.
So it's never just set it and forget it.
Never. The goal is to ensure these models consistently perform accurately, reliably, and fairly over time. This includes proactively tracking what's called model drift.
Model drift. Explain it a bit more.
Sure. Model drift happens when an AI model's performance degrades because the real-world data patterns it's seeing now have subtly changed from the data it was originally trained on. Imagine, say, a fraud detection model that suddenly starts missing new types of scams because the fraudsters got smarter, they changed their tactics.
Oh.
You need clear thresholds to detect that drift and establish processes to quickly intervene, retrain the model, recalibrate it.
And ModelOps fits in here.
Yeah, think of ModelOps as basically the continuous delivery pipeline for your AI models. Just like DevOps automates the software development lifecycle, ModelOps operationalizes model management. It ensures smooth, continuous integration and deployment of models. It makes them dynamic, self-optimizing AI assets, not just static programs collecting dust.
Beyond the purely technical, the book really hammers home the absolute necessity for leaders to define, adopt, and champion overarching ethical AI principles. This isn't just about avoiding bad PR or lawsuits. It's about proactively building and sustaining trust, which the book calls the moat, right?
Right, the moat.
Yeah.
And this brings us to a fundamental question for leaders. How do you translate these sometimes abstract ethical principles into practical, actionable guidelines that actually guide day-to-day AI development and deployment?
Yeah, how do you make it real?
Intelligent Advantage outlines several common but critical principles. First, fairness and non-discrimination. And this isn't just about having good intentions. It means proactively identifying and mitigating algorithmic bias, making sure AI systems don't inadvertently perpetuate or even amplify existing societal inequalities.
Can you give an example?
Sure, like if your hiring AI was trained mostly on historical data from successful male hires, it might, without anyone intending it to, penalize equally qualified female applicants because of subtle patterns it learned from that biased data. Leaders need to understand techniques like debiasing training data, making sure you have diverse representation, or using adversarial debiasing, where another AI actually tries to find and remove bias from the main model's outputs.
Interesting. What else?
Then there's accountability and responsibility, making it crystal clear who is responsible when an AI system messes up or causes harm. Is it the data scientist, the product manager, the executive who sponsored it? That needs defining.
Okay.
Transparency and explainability are also vital. Trying to make AI decision-making processes understandable, especially for high-impact stuff like loan approvals, medical diagnoses, credit scoring. People deserve to know why a decision affecting them was made. You also need human oversight, ensuring the right level of human involvement alongside fundamentals like data privacy, system security, and safety. These high-level principles, they have to be translated into practical guidelines, checklists, review processes that become just, an inherent, almost instinctive part of the whole AI workflow, not some checkbox exercise at the end.
And as we innovate with AI, new risks inevitably pop up. We need comprehensive AI risk management covering everything from that insidious algorithmic bias to sophisticated security vulnerabilities. This isn't just sticking an AI label on traditional enterprise risk management, is it? AI brings whole new categories of complexity.
You've hit on a critical point there. AI introduces fundamentally new types of risks that need to be systematically identified, assessed, monitored, mitigated, and then seamlessly integrated into the broader enterprise risk management, or ERM, system. Beyond bias leading to discrimination or model drift degrading performance, you face specific security vulnerabilities unique to AI.
Like what?
Well, we're talking about things like adversarial attacks. That's where malicious actors subtly alter inputs to deliberately deceive or disrupt AI models. Imagine a self-driving car misinterpreting a stop sign because someone made tiny, almost invisible changes to the sign's image.
Wow.
There's also data poisoning, where attackers corrupt the training data itself, maybe introduce backdoors or just sabotage future performance. The inherent lack of interpretability in some complex AI models, the black box problem, can also hinder debugging, make it hard to figure out accountability or even prove you're complying with regulations.
Right.
And of course, there's always the very real risk of compliance failures with emerging AI rules globally, and the severe, often irreversible reputational damage that comes from unethical or irresponsible AI deployment. So it's about expanding your risk radar to really include these unique AI-specific threats.
Speaking of regulations, Intelligent Advantage notes the rapidly evolving regulatory and legal landscape. It points to the EU AI Act as a significant precedent, signaling this dynamic global environment where companies need proactive processes to stay on top of things.
Indeed. The regulatory environment for AI is anything but static. It's a living, breathing thing. The EU AI Act, for instance, it's not just another piece of legislation. It's a landmark framework. It categorizes AI systems by risk level and imposes really stringent requirements, especially on high-risk applications. Think critical infrastructure, law enforcement, employment.
And that sets a global tone, presumably.
Absolutely. What's crucial for leaders to get is that this kind of regulation sets a powerful precedent. Other places around the world are watching closely. They'll likely follow suit, or at least be heavily influenced by these developments. For any global organization, this means having robust, agile mechanisms in place to constantly monitor these global developments, accurately interpret what they mean for your specific operations and business models, and ensure ongoing compliance, not just to avoid big penalties and legal fights, but also to prevent a serious erosion of public and customer trust. It demands a proactive, not reactive, compliance stance.
Okay, so with all these complex interlocking pieces, data, models, ethics, risks, regulations, clear roles, responsibilities, and oversight structures are absolutely essential. This can't be a free-for-all where everyone just assumes someone else is handling the important stuff.
Precisely. This really gets to a fundamental question of organizational design for this AI era. Who owns what when it comes to AI? Who's accountable? Effective governance demands absolute clarity throughout the organization, from the executive suite right down to individual development teams. Intelligent Advantage suggests several robust structures, maybe creating a dedicated AI ethics board or council, often multidisciplinary, pulling in people from legal, ethics, business units, technical teams.
Like a steering committee for ethics.
Exactly. We're also seeing a growing trend of organizations appointing a chief AI ethics officer, a senior leader dedicated to embedding ethical thinking across all AI initiatives. Beyond that, defining specific AI governance responsibilities for data scientists, model developers, the business unit leaders who actually champion and deploy AI systems, and internal audit functions. That's all absolutely critical. And increasingly proactive, engaged board-level oversight of AI strategy, its performance, and its risks is becoming a non-negotiable expectation from investors and stakeholders.
It needs that high-level visibility.
It really does. It's about building a collective, accountable framework that permeates every layer of the organization.
Now let's shift focus a bit. Let's talk about cultivating an AI-conscious organization, recognizing that building that trust really does start at the top. And that begins with practical steps for C-suite readiness and AI fluency. It's just not enough anymore for leaders to just talk about AI.
Yeah.
They need to genuinely understand it, right?
That's a powerful point, and Intelligent Advantage really drives it home. What's striking is the emphasis on structured, dedicated learning, specifically for non-technical executives and board members. The goal isn't to turn them into data scientists or machine learning engineers. Not at all. It's about equipping them with a robust foundational understanding. This education should cover core AI concepts, what machine learning, deep learning, NLP, generative AI actually are at a high level, plus their distinct strengths and limitations. Leaders need to grasp the strategic implications for their specific industry, identify relevant AI use cases and value drivers within their own organization, understand the fundamentals of data, and crucially, fully comprehend the nuances of ethical AI and responsible innovation. That has to be part of it.
How does this education actually happen?
Well, the book highlights various forms. It could be bespoke executive AI academies, maybe structured multi-day programs, or more concise board AI boot camps. Gartner research, for instance, consistently stresses this growing expectation for board involvement in actively overseeing AI strategy and its inherent risks. It's really about building confidence and competence at the highest levels.
I really like the idea of establishing executive peer learning circles or dedicated AI councils. It creates a sort of safe, collaborative space for shared learning and strategy steering. It acknowledges this AI journey isn't something any one leader does alone.
Absolutely. And when you connect that to the bigger picture of organizational change, these peer learning circles offer an invaluable, often confidential forum. Executives can frankly discuss their AI learning journey, share challenges they're facing, and collectively build a deeper understanding of AI's strategic implications. An internal AI council, typically with key C-suite members and top AI technical experts, can then act as the overarching steering committee for the organization's whole AI strategy.
So it keeps everyone aligned.
Exactly. It ensures consistent alignment across business units, helps prioritize the initiatives with the most impact, and fosters a unified approach. It formalizes both that shared learning and the strategic steering you need for these complex AI transformations.
And then there's reverse mentoring and cross-functional exposure learning directly from those digitally native employees or the practitioners actually building and deploying these systems. That seems like an incredibly effective way to really demystify the tech and bridge some of those generational knowledge gaps.
It's an incredibly potent strategy for bridging that understanding gap, and one that often brings surprising insights. Senior leaders can gain invaluable, on-the-ground perspectives from employees who've basically grown up with these technologies and are using them every day.
Right.
Whether it's through formal reverse mentoring programs, pairing executives with AI-savvy younger employees, or maybe less formal day-in-the-life experiences where leaders shadow AI practitioners. These interactions can profoundly demystify the technology. It lets leaders see firsthand how AI works in practice, understand the challenges and opportunities from a totally different angle, and gain practical insights you just can't get from a boardroom presentation.
To really help all this learning and collaboration, Intelligent Advantage suggests developing a must-know AI lexicon for leaders. We all need to be speaking the same language, don't we? Makes sense.
Precisely. And what's striking is how profoundly a shared vocabulary can improve communication and just speed up decision-making. Imagine a C-suite meeting where everyone has a slightly different idea of what algorithmic bias or model explainability really means.
Chaos, or at least confusion.
Right. It creates friction, slows things down, can lead to misaligned strategies. So having a concise, agreed-upon glossary of essential AI terms, things like algorithm, bias, API, supervised, unsupervised learning, generative AI, model drift tailored specifically for non-technical leaders, ensures everyone is on the same page. It prevents misinterpretations, fosters clear debates, and ultimately speeds up informed decision-making across the whole enterprise.
And to really embed AI thinking into the organizational DNA, the book recommends mandating AI impact assessments for all major strategic initiatives. This forces AI to be a proactive thought, not just, bolted on at the end.
This really forces a critical question early on. How do you make sure AI is considered not as an add-on, but as a core component right from the start of planning? By making these assessments mandatory for any significant initiative, a new product launch, a major operational overhaul, a new customer engagement strategy teams are prompted to proactively consider. How could AI enhance this? What are the specific data requirements? Is that data governed properly?
What are the risks?
Exactly. What are the potential AI-related risks, especially ethical ones like fairness or privacy, and how will we mitigate them? And what specific AI capabilities and talent do we actually need to execute this? It pushes for a holistic, proactive, and deeply integrated approach to AI, right from concept through to execution.
The book also suggests integrating AI fluency into leadership development programs and even performance metrics. That signals its strategic importance loud and clear, making it a recognized competency.
It's an incredibly powerful signal, isn't it? By explicitly including AI fluency and AI leadership competencies within existing leadership development programs, maybe even incorporating them into executive performance expectations and reviews. Organizations clearly communicate that AI readiness is no longer optional, it's expected.
Right.
It doesn't mean every executive needs to become a deep AI expert, but a demonstrated commitment to understanding AI's strategic implications, championing value-creating AI initiatives, and navigating its ethical complexities becomes a recognized, rewarded, and expected part of effective leadership. It's about building a culture where AI is understood as fundamental to future success.
And finally, visiting AI mature organizations can provide invaluable insights and inspiration. Seeing what good looks like in practice can often be the most effective catalyst for change, right?
That's often true. What's really effective here is that direct exposure can be incredibly motivating. It clarifies the art of the possible. Organizing C-suite study tours to companies widely seen as AI leaders, whether they're in your industry or outside it, or even visiting vibrant AI innovation hubs like Silicon Valley or specialized research centers, it can provide a much clearer, more tangible picture of successful AI implementation. It often sparks new ideas, challenges, preconceived notions, and instills a sense of urgency and possibility that maybe internal discussions alone can't quite achieve. It's about learning directly from the pioneers.
Intelligent Advantage brings this whole discussion to life with a fantastic, very illustrative example. Global Logistics Corp, GLC, and the transformation led by its CEO, Arthur Vance. He shifted the entire company's mindset from seeing AI as just another tool to recognizing it as a fundamental strategic imperative. This wasn't passive, was it? He really took decisive ownership.
It's not at all. Vance's leadership at GLC is a textbook case of decisive C-suite ownership in action. He didn't just endorse AI. He personally articulated this compelling, future-forward vision for GLC to become the most intelligent and adaptive logistics network in the world. He directly linked AI adoption to their core, mission-efficient, reliable global delivery.
So it was tied to the business strategy.
Absolutely. To foster AI fluency, he not only mandated but personally participated in AI education programs, signaling its importance right from the top. He then set up a cross-functional AI leadership council that he co-chaired, including key business unit heads, legal, technology leaders. But critically, he personally sponsored the creation of a robust AI governance framework. This included forming an AI ethics committee, and this wasn't just a rubber stamp.
It had teeth.
It seems so. This committee developed clear, actionable principles for responsible AI use, comprehensive data privacy protocols, strict guidelines for algorithmic transparency, especially in sensitive areas like automated workforce planning and optimization. This visible, top-down commitment built profound trust, both internally among employees and externally with customers and partners.
And the results, as detailed in the book, were really remarkable. Operational efficiency at GLC soared. Customer satisfaction improved significantly through more personalized, responsive services. Entirely new revenue streams emerged from innovative AI-powered logistics solutions. Employee engagement went up as they felt empowered by new tools. And the market perception at GLC shifted dramatically. They weren't just a logistics company anymore. They were seen as a forward-thinking innovator, a leader in intelligent operations. This really hammers home how establishing those clear principles for responsible AI use built that essential trust internally and externally, forming the very foundation of their competitive advantage, their algorithmic moat, as the book calls it. Okay, let's unpack this a bit more. We've talked about how AI is reshaping nearly every part of an organization, from the C-suite down to the factory floor, but the consistent thread weaving through it all is the absolute necessity of building trust. Trust through sound ethics and robust governance. If you're finding these insights as compelling as we are, and you want to dive even deeper into how AI can genuinely be the core engine of your organization's future, you absolutely need to get your hands on the book we're pulling all this incredible knowledge from. It's called Intelligent Advantage by Ryan Beckett. You can find it easily on Amazon just by searching for the title. Trust me, it's a game changer for anyone leading in this new era. All right, now let's dive into how AI is embedding ethics and governance in practice across the enterprise, starting with strategic planning. Intelligent Advantage describes this profound shift from static periodic reports to a dynamic 24/7 AI monitoring capability, creating what Beckett calls continuous strategic sensing. This goes way beyond traditional SWOT analysis, doesn't it? Feels like the organization's strategic radar is just always on.
It's a fundamental transformation of how organizations gather and process strategic intelligence. It really is. Instead of relying on periodic, often labor-intensive market research reports that might be outdated by the time they're even published.
Right, the world moves too fast.
Exactly. AI systems become the organization's constant eyes and ears. These systems continuously ingest data from an incredibly vast array of external sources: global news feeds, real-time social media chatter, evolving regulatory updates, competitor digital footprints, financial market indicators, patent databases, academic publications, and even alternative data sources like satellite imagery tracking factory output or shipping traffic, things you wouldn't normally consider. Advanced NLP and machine learning algorithms then tirelessly sift through this enormous flood of information, identifying subtle but emerging trends, detecting shifts in customer sentiment, spotting early signals of competitor moves, flagging potential supply chain vulnerabilities. Often these insights surface long before any human team could realistically pick them up manually. This capability allows for a truly dynamic, continuously updated SWOT or TOTOS analysis, giving you a real-time pulse on the strategic landscape.
And the output isn't just raw data or abstract charts, is it? The book mentions automated, personalized, and predictive intelligence briefings. That sounds like a dream for busy decision makers.
It absolutely is. The AI synthesizes the most relevant, timely signals into highly customized, actionable briefings for specific decision makers. These briefings aren't generic. They're meticulously tailored maybe to specific strategic concerns, particular industries, or even individual executive roles. And crucially, they move far beyond simple summaries. They provide deeply contextualized insights, highlight potential second-order effects of emerging trends, and even offer predictive assessments of how trends might evolve.
So it's forward-looking.
Very much so. This ensures leaders get timely, actionable intelligence that's directly relevant to their responsibilities rather than being overwhelmed by, a fire hose of uncurated data. However, and this is the critical governance angle, the immense data ingestion required demands rigorous data governance. You absolutely must ensure the quality, accuracy, and privacy of all that incoming data and proactively work to avoid biased inputs, which could otherwise lead to profoundly flawed strategic insights. That's key to making continuous strategic sensing trustworthy and effective.
This theme of deep AI integration continues right into operational excellence, moving beyond traditional lean principles to what Beckett calls intelligent autonomy. This isn't just about evolving efficiency. It sounds like a profound redefinition of how operations even function.
What's genuinely transformative here is how AI fundamentally redefines the very meaning of operational excellence. While methodologies like Lean and Six Sigma drove remarkable gains by focusing on eliminating waste, reducing defects in processes, AI introduces a new dimension: intelligent autonomy.
Okay.
This shifts operations from being reactive to being predictive, even prescriptive. Instead of periodic manual tweaks or human-driven process improvements, AI enables continuous, automated optimization. We're moving from localized improvements to system-wide excellence, from fixed, rigid processes to highly adaptive learning systems, and from human-limited scale to machine-powered scale.
Can you give an example?
Sure, imagine an AI controlling a complex manufacturing process. It might constantly tweak parameters, temperature, pressure, flow rates in real time, responding to subtle variations in raw materials or environmental conditions far faster and more precisely than any human operator could. It maintains optimal output and quality around the clock. That's intelligent autonomy in action.
A prime example of this shift is AI in supply chain management, particularly demand forecasting. Intelligent Advantage says it offers a quantum leap in accuracy. How does AI achieve that kind of precision compared to older methods?
Well, it largely comes down to the sheer volume and diversity of data AI can process and the complex patterns it can uncover, things humans just couldn't see. AI, especially advanced machine learning models, can ingest and analyze this vast, incredibly diverse array of data sources simultaneously. It identifies complex, nonlinear relationships, subtle patterns that humans or traditional statistical models would almost certainly miss.
What kind of data are we talking about?
It includes core internal data, historical sales, past promotions, product details, rich customer behavior data from e-commerce, CRM systems. But where AI really delivers that quantum leap is its ability to seamlessly incorporate a huge array of external factors, like macroeconomic indicators, GDP growth, inflation, competitor actions, pricing strategies, highly granular weather forecasts that impact buying behavior, local events, festivals, sports, real-time social media trends, specific geospatial data, even upstream supply chain signals like port congestion or raw material price changes.
They connect everything.
It tries to. And all of this allows for benefits far beyond just predicting sales better. You get reduced stockouts, which means happier customers. Minimized excess inventory frees up capital. Improved production scheduling optimizes manufacturing. Greater agility lets you respond faster to market shifts.
And the governance angle here.
Yes. It's crucial to ensure the data used for forecasting is non-discriminatory, and that any pricing or resource allocation recommendations coming out of these forecasts are fair, transparent, and don't inadvertently create inequities. Building trust is absolutely paramount in these high-impact applications.
And the evolution continues. We're seeing a significant move from basic robotic process automation, RPA, to the more sophisticated intelligent process automation, IPA. What's the core difference for a leader, and why does that distinction matter?
The shift from RPA's rules-based bots to IPA's AI-powered virtual assistants is a fundamental leap. It goes beyond simple, predefined tasks. While RPA is great at handling basic, structured, repetitive automation like copying data between systems, IPA introduces cognitive ability. It can understand intent, synthesize information from multiple, often unstructured systems. It can even detect subtle cues like customer frustration through sentiment analysis in real time.
It's more intelligent.
Exactly. Imagine a customer service chatbot that doesn't just answer FAQs, but understands the complex nuances of a customer's multi-part question, accesses different back-end systems to gather relevant info, and then offers a personalized, even empathetic response based on understanding the customer's emotional state.
That's a big step up.
It is. For leaders, it means moving from automating simple tasks to automating entire complex business processes. The governance angle in this evolution is critical, proactively addressing employee fears and resistance, clearly communicating that AI is augmenting jobs, not just replacing them. This means focusing on robust upskilling and reskilling programs for new AI-augmented roles, and crucially ensuring absolute fairness and transparency in any automated decisions affecting employees. All that builds internal trust in these powerful new systems.
This ties neatly into integrating AI with the Internet of Things, IoT, and Edge AI, creating that powerful data insight action loop. IoT devices are the sensory organs, feeding data to AI models. What are the key benefits of processing AI at the edge, closer to where the data is actually generated?
What's really compelling about Edge AI is how it minimizes latency. That's critical for real-time applications. For scenarios needing instantaneous decisions like high-speed defect detection on a factory line needing to halt a belt in milliseconds, or immediate machine shutdowns for safety hazards processing data right on or near the IoT devices at the edge of the network, it allows decisions in milliseconds rather than waiting for data to travel to a central cloud and back.
Faster response times.
Much faster.
Yeah.
This localized processing also significantly reduces bandwidth needs and costs because you pre-process and filter data locally, sending only the really relevant insights to the cloud for deeper analysis. And critically, it greatly enhances data security and privacy by keeping sensitive operational data localized. This helps organizations comply with stricter data governance rules and reduces the potential attack surface.
So the governance focus for Edge AI is?
It's precisely about ensuring robust data security, privacy, and accountability frameworks when you're processing sensitive operational data right there at the edge, especially as more autonomous decisions are made locally.
Okay, let's move to the customer front. AI is completely revolutionizing customer experience and engagement. Intelligent Advantage highlights AI's remarkable ability for holistic data integration, creating that sought-after 360-degree view of the customer. What else does AI bring to the table here?
Well, AI goes far beyond just integrating your standard CRM and ERP data. It synthesizes this vast array of unstructured and behavioral data, think website clickstreams, call center logs, social media mentions, video interactions, even IoT data from connected products. It builds this comprehensive, continuously updated 360-degree view of every single customer.
A living profile.
Exactly. This unparalleled understanding allows you to uncover latent needs and intent through advanced NLP on customer feedback, browsing patterns, inferring unspoken desires or potential frustrations. AI can also understand crucial context and nuance, like differentiating sarcasm in a review or seamlessly stitching together fragmented interactions across multiple touchpoints so customers don't have to repeat their story.
That's huge for customer satisfaction.
It is. This leads to dynamic, evolving customer profiles that learn and refine in real time, enabling true hyper-personalization, real-time modeling, adaptive journey orchestration. AI can predict customer churn with remarkable accuracy by analyzing usage, transactions, service interactions. It can forecast customer lifetime value, CLV, more precisely. It can even power dynamic pricing and micro-moment marketing, optimizing prices or tailoring offers in real time based on immediate customer intent and context.
That sounds incredibly powerful, almost omniscient from a business standpoint. But it also raises some very clear ethical flags around privacy and potential manipulation. How does governance specifically apply here to mitigate those risks?
That's a crucial question, and the governance angle here is absolutely paramount, non-negotiable. Leaders must explicitly address ethical concerns in the design and deployment of these customer-facing AI systems. This includes proactively avoiding dark patterns, those manipulative UI tricks or pricing strategies that subtly push customers into actions they might not intend or that aren't in their best interests.
Like hidden fees or confusing opt-outs.
Exactly. Ensuring fairness in dynamic pricing algorithms is another key area, preventing situations where AI might inadvertently or even intentionally disadvantage certain customer segments based on their data profile. Safeguarding privacy with granular data is non-negotiable, especially when building such comprehensive customer profiles. Customers have to feel assured their data is handled responsibly, transparently. Ultimately, building and maintaining customer trust isn't just a nice-to-have. It's the core differentiator. It's the driver of sustainable customer relationships in this AI-driven landscape. If customers don't trust how their data is used or how AI influences their experience, they'll simply walk away.
Now let's turn to innovation and R&D. Intelligent Advantage suggests AI has basically reinvented innovation, shifting it from lengthy, high-risk projects to this dynamic, ongoing capability of fail fast, learn faster. How does AI act as a co-creator here, especially with this idea of generative design?
What's truly transformative here is how AI moves beyond being just an analytical tool and becomes an active, intelligent partner in the creative process itself. Generative design, for instance, it fundamentally flips the traditional design script.
How so?
Instead of human engineers sketching a solution and then optimizing it, they input a set of functional requirements, material constraints, performance goals, maybe even aesthetic preferences into an AI system. The AI then autonomously generates a multitude of potential design solutions, often exploring possibilities a human might never conceive of, or that would take an immense amount of time to evaluate manually.
So it explores the solution space much faster.
Much faster and wider. This includes sophisticated techniques like topology optimization, where the AI optimizes how material is distributed within a structure for maximum strength or minimum weight, for example. This capability dramatically accelerates prototyping, simulation, iteration cycles. It lets organizations explore a far wider range of innovative ideas and validate them much more rigorously and efficiently. It shifts innovation from being linear and painstaking to being dynamic, iterative, and highly parallel.
But with AI acting as a co-creator, especially in new product development or scientific discovery, the governance angle becomes even more critical, right? Intelligent Advantage really stresses the need to embed ethical oversight and robust governance directly into these innovation programs. How do you do that effectively without just stifling creativity?
That's precisely the challenge. Fostering innovation responsibly. It's not about creating bureaucratic roadblocks. It's about building a framework for ethical innovation. This means establishing clear ethical guardrails for AI's role in R&D and design right from the start.
Like what kind of guardrails?
Things like addressing critical issues, data privacy and research, responsible use of generative AI to avoid creating misleading or harmful content, rigorously ensuring the safety and reliability of any AI-generated solutions. It also means integrating ethical impact assessments at key stages of the innovation lifecycle, especially for projects involving sensitive data, autonomous decisions, or potential societal impact. Cross-functional AI ethics review boards become essential for high-stakes projects, providing independent oversight.
Okay.
Transparency about AI's precise role in the innovation, clear accountability for AI-influenced innovations, recognizing human judgment can't be entirely delegated, and ongoing training for innovators on the ethical implications of their work. These are all vital components. And critically, the governance process itself has to be continuously monitored and adapted as AI capabilities and societal expectations evolve. It's not static.
The role of the CFO is also undergoing a dramatic transformation. Intelligent Advantage paints this picture of the AI-augmented CFO, shifting from, say, a reporter to strategist and a cost controller to value architect. How exactly does AI enable these profound shifts in a CFO's responsibilities?
This really highlights how leadership roles are evolving in this intelligent enterprise. The AI-augmented CFO leverages powerful AI-powered forecasting models, sophisticated scenario modeling tools, advanced predictive risk management capabilities. They provide dynamic, forward-looking insights that were just previously unimaginable. They move beyond merely reporting historical costs to truly understanding the drivers of profitability and value creation using granular, real-time analytics.
They're looking forward more than back.
Exactly. AI gives them powerful new ways to proactively manage a much broader spectrum of enterprise risks, from traditional financial risks to emerging ESG risks, by identifying subtle patterns and predicting potential disruptions. They become a central champion for data-driven insights across the organization, helping democratize access to critical financial data, but within robust governance frameworks, of course.
Right.
They're increasingly seen as digital transformation champions within the C-suite, recognizing financial health is tied to digital maturity, and crucially, they lead the charge in upskilling and reskilling the finance workforce for this new AI-driven reality.
And the use of alternative data is a fascinating aspect here. What exactly is alternative data, and what are the unique ethical considerations that come with using it in financial decisions?
Yeah, alternative data refers to non-traditional data sets that offer unique, often real-time insights beyond standard financial statements or conventional market research. Think about things like satellite imagery tracking parking lot traffic to predict retail sales, or geolocation data showing foot traffic for real estate trends, or even anonymized credit card transaction data giving insights into consumer spending patterns.
Data from unexpected places.
Exactly. While it's incredibly valuable for gaining a unique informational edge and enabling more nuanced predictive models, its use comes with significant ethical considerations. The primary concerns revolve around privacy, since much of this data comes from individual behaviors, and also data quality or representativeness, which can introduce subtle biases if you're not careful.
So governance is key, again.
Absolutely critical. Ensuring the ethical sourcing of this alternative data, rigorously avoiding bias in the financial models built on it, maintaining absolute transparency in how these insights are used, and proactively managing the new financial risks that arise from using such diverse, sometimes ambiguous, and rapidly changing data sources. Trust in financial markets hinges on data integrity and fairness.
Finally, let's touch on AI and human capital strategy transforming HR from a mainly transactional function into a true strategic partner. Intelligent Advantage suggests AI is key to enabling more people-centric cultures. That sounds almost counterintuitive. How can technology foster greater human centricity?
That's a perceptive observation, and it's where the strategic application of AI really shines in HR. What's compelling is the idea that by automating the mundane, repetitive, transactional tasks, things like payroll processing, benefits enrollment, answering basic queries, AI frees up HR professionals.
Frees them up for what?
It allows them to shift a focus from administrative burdens to much more strategic work. Sophisticated workforce planning, targeted talent management, leadership development, organizational design, cultivating a truly data-driven yet empathetic culture. AI then enables an individualized understanding of employees at scale, leading to genuinely personalized employee experiences across the whole life cycle: onboarding, learning, career progression, even wellness programs.
How does it help with fairness?
Well, when designed responsibly, AI can help mitigate human biases that are often inherent in traditional hiring, promotion, and compensation decisions. It can lead to fairer, more objective, data-driven talent decisions. It empowers employees with tools like internal talent marketplaces connecting their skills to opportunities, or AI-driven career coaches. It enhances communication through things like sentiment analysis of employee feedback. It can even help focus on well-being and prevent burnout by analyzing workload data and identifying stress points.
Intelligent Advantage also details how AI facilitates smart career pathing and leadership development. This sounds like a powerful tool for both individual growth and organizational strength.
It truly is. AI can analyze vast amounts of data, individual skills, performance, aspirations, successful career trajectories within the company, industry trends. This allows it to suggest intelligent, personalized career paths for employees, highlighting needed skills, recommending specific learning or projects.
So it guides development.
Right. It can identify high-potential employees earlier and more objectively by analyzing performance trends, learning agility. This feeds into more tailored leadership programs, robust succession planning. AI can even facilitate more effective mentorship programs by matching mentors and mentees based on a wide range of factors, not just department, leading to more impactful relationships.
But the governance angle must be huge here, with sensitive employee data.
Paramount. Absolutely paramount. Ensuring responsible design, continuous oversight to mitigate potential human biases encoded in the data or algorithms, safeguarding employee data privacy with the utmost care, and maintaining the highest ethical standards in using sensitive employee data. This is absolutely critical for building and sustaining employee trust in these powerful personalizing tools. Without that trust, it all falls apart.
Okay, moving into the competitive landscape now. Intelligent Advantage introduces this concept of algorithmic advantage as the ultimate moat of trust. What exactly does it mean for an organization to cultivate an algorithmic advantage, and how does it become such a powerful competitive differentiator?
This really gets to the heart of sustainable competitive advantage in the AI era. An algorithmic advantage isn't just having AI, it's the superior, deeply embedded capability of an organization to leverage its proprietary algorithms, its unique high-quality data, and its continuous learning systems to consistently make better predictions, automate complex decisions more precisely, deliver hyper-personalized experiences at scale, all demonstrably outperforming competitors in critical areas.
So it's about superior outcomes.
Exactly. It creates this powerful virtuous cycle. Your unique data fuels algorithmic refinement, which leads to a demonstrably better user or customer experience. This drives increased engagement, higher acquisition, stronger loyalty, which generates even more valuable data.
The flywheel effect.
Precisely. This feedback loop strengthens your algorithms further, creating powerful network effects. It often leads to winner-takes-most dynamics in many digital markets, where early superiority just rapidly compounds.
So intellectual property is fundamentally reimagined in this context. It's way beyond just static patents for a specific piece of tech, isn't it? It's about dynamic learning capabilities.
Precisely. The true intellectual property in an algorithmic business fundamentally shifts. It moves beyond static patents for code or an invention to encompass the synergistic combination of your unique model architecture, your specifically curated training data, the sophisticated feedback loops that perpetually refine your algorithms, and the whole ecosystem, the specialized talent, the agile processes that support its ongoing development.
So the asset is the learning system itself.
Right. The strategic focus shifts from protecting fixed, depreciating assets to building dynamic, appreciating learning capabilities. Your core competency becomes the ability to learn and adapt faster, more intelligently, more reliably than your competitors. This even means new metrics emerge for competitive assessment, for valuation, focusing not just on market share, but on data set quality, algorithm accuracy, learning speed, depth of personalization, customer engagement generated by your AI.
And the governance angle ties back to trust again.
Crucial. Ensuring ethical competition, preventing market abuses that might arise from such power, and proactively building the trust capital that genuinely makes this algorithmic moat defensible and sustainable in the long run. Trust underpins the whole advantage.
However, this incredible edge comes with new and significant challenges to that trust, particularly around data and model manipulation risks. Let's start with the training data and labeling pipeline. How does this present a challenge to trustworthiness? It seems straightforward, just label the data right.
Well, what's often overlooked, but absolutely critical, is the importance of high-quality, accurately labeled data for supervised learning, which is still the foundation of most AI applications today. To train an AI to spot manufacturing defects, for example, you need vast data sets of images meticulously labeled defective or not defective. The immense challenge lies in ensuring the sheer quality, accuracy, and integrity of this labeling pipeline. This often involves extensive human-in-the-loop labeling, which can be prone to human error or bias.
Right. Humans aren't perfect labelers.
No. So to improve efficiency, you use techniques like active learning, where the AI flags the most valuable data points for a human to look at. There's also weak supervision, using programmatic rules to label data, and even synthetic data generation for scenarios where real data is scarce or too sensitive.
Synthetic data, creating fake data.
Creating artificial data that mimics the statistical properties of real data. But the governance angle here is crucial, ensuring ethical sourcing of the original data, verifying fair labor practices for human annotators if you use them, and rigorously maintaining the integrity and representativeness of any synthetic data so it accurately reflects reality without introducing new biases. A compromised training pipeline means a compromised AI system. It erodes trust right at the foundation.
And then there are the more overtly malicious risks.
Yeah.
Adversarial learning and model manipulation. How exactly do bad actors try to deceive or disrupt AI models, and what's the implication for trust?
This gets to a fundamental question about the security and resilience of AI systems. Malicious actors are constantly developing sophisticated techniques to exploit AI vulnerabilities. One common method is data poisoning. They subtly corrupt the training data itself to introduce biases or backdoors, degrading the model's performance or causing it to make specific wrong decisions later.
So sabotaging it from the inside.
Exactly. Imagine injecting fake reviews or manipulated images into a public dataset to sabotage a sentiment analysis model or a facial recognition system. Then there are model evasion or inversion attacks. In evasion, adversaries design inputs deliberately crafted to misclassify information, making malware look benign to an AI security system, for example. In inversion attacks, they try to reconstruct sensitive training data by repeatedly querying the model, which poses significant privacy risks. Bad actors might also try to steal proprietary models or manipulate entire algorithmic ecosystems through collusion. The trust angle here is paramount. These attacks directly undermine the reliability, integrity, and fairness of AI systems, making robust governance frameworks and advanced security measures absolutely essential for maintaining competitive trust and ensuring AI-driven operations remain viable.
Now let's talk about leading with responsibility. Even with these incredibly powerful AI tools, Intelligent Advantage underscores the vital need to actively challenge biases and ensure human oversight remains central. The book gives some fantastic real-world examples of AI-driven executive decision support. Can you share a few of how AI augments decision-making at the highest levels?
Yeah, AI is truly augmenting decision-making at the highest strategic levels. It's moving beyond just informing to actively generating scenarios and options. Consider a multinational corporation dealing with global supply chain resilience. Instead of relying on static reports, they might use an AI-powered digital twin of their entire supply chain.
A digital replica.
Exactly. This system continuously ingests real-time data, supplier performance, logistics routes, geopolitical risks, weather patterns. When a disruption happens, say, a port closure, the AI can instantly model the potential impact across the whole global network, simulating dozens, hundreds of what-if scenarios. It can then rapidly propose and evaluate alternative responses, rerouting shipments, activating secondary suppliers, prioritizing inventory. Executives can then interact with this digital twin, test their own ideas, leading to far more proactive risk mitigation.
That's powerful. Another example.
A tech company might use AI to simulate the potential success of different market entry strategies or new product configurations under hundreds of different future market conditions, considering pricing, competitor response, regulations all at once. Or in strategic finance, the AI-augmented CFO uses models integrating vast internal financial data with external macroeconomic variables, market sentiment, ESG factors, generating probabilistic forecasts for revenue, costs, cash flow, stress testing strategies against a wider range of plausible futures, identifying vulnerabilities before they become crises.
What's particularly compelling is that even with these powerful tools, Intelligent Advantage highlights a crucial governance angle. Trust in the decision-making process still requires us to actively challenge biases, both in the AI's outputs and, importantly, in our own human judgment. How do leaders effectively harness AI to challenge biases without falling prey to automation bias, where we just blindly trust whatever the AI spits out?
That's a profoundly important question for human-AI collaboration. The core principle here is fostering a culture of critical engagement, not passive acceptance. Leaders must demand transparency and explainability XAI from their AI systems. The AI shouldn't just give an answer. It should explain its reasoning, highlight the key data it used, indicate its confidence level.
Make the black box less black.
Exactly. Cultivate healthy skepticism throughout the organization. Leaders should treat AI insights as sophisticated inputs to be interrogated, not infallible directives. Encourage asking probing questions. What are the underlying assumptions? What are its limitations? What's the potential for error or bias? Always triangulate insights, Cross-reference AI outputs with human expertise, intuition, other independent data sources.
Don't rely on just one input.
Never. For high-stakes decisions, human oversight is non-negotiable. AI informs, but humans decide and are ultimately accountable. It's also crucial to differentiate between human-in-the-loop systems needing human approval for each decision and human-on-the-loop systems, where AI runs autonomously, but humans monitor and intervene in exceptions. Leaders need robust AI fluency to be discerning users, and AI systems themselves must be regularly audited and validated for drift, accuracy, fairness, and continued relevance.
So it's about establishing a recommended workflow with key elements like human-AI teaming, rigorous validation steps, and continuous feedback loops. It sounds like a dynamic, iterative system, not a static checklist.
Precisely. The core principle is synergistic human-AI collaboration, where each plays to its strengths. AI is brilliant at processing vast data sets, identifying complex patterns, generating scenarios, handling the computational heavy lifting. Humans are indispensable for framing the strategic questions, bringing nuanced contextual understanding, critically evaluating AI outputs, asking why and what if, managing ambiguity, making complex ethical judgments, and ultimately bearing accountability for the final decision. A robust workflow clearly defines these complementary roles. For instance, in risk assessment, humans frame potential vulnerabilities, AI analyzes data and generates risk scenarios, then humans review, contextualize, challenge assumptions, and formulate the strategy.
And the validation steps are critical for building that essential trust, ensuring reliability throughout.
Absolutely. This involves rigorous data validation before it even touches the AI, checking accuracy, completeness, potential biases. Then model validation, understanding its purpose, assumptions, limitations, potential failure modes. Output validation means never taking AI insights at face value, sense check them, cross-reference, stress test recommendations. And finally, impact validation, tracking actual outcomes versus predictions post-decision. This helps you continuously assess the real value and identify areas for improvement.
And those feedback loops sound like the continuous learning mechanism for both the humans and the AI, ensuring the whole system evolves and improves together.
They are utterly essential for dynamic, self-improving systems. AI to human feedback needs clear communication of insights, confidence levels, explanations. Crucially, human to AI feedback allows users to correct AI errors, provide new context the AI missed, rate usefulness, flag observed biases. This human input directly informs retraining and fine-tuning the AI models. And finally, process feedback looks at the entire workflow itself, efficiency, user engagement, decision outcomes, ensuring the whole human-AI teaming system is perpetually learning and getting better.
As we look to the accelerating future of AI, Intelligent Advantage highlights broader technological convergences that will make robust governance even more critical. Things like multimodal AI, the artificial intelligence of things, AIoT, and even the longer-term prospect of AI meeting quantum computing. What do these convergences signify for leaders? It sounds like things are about to get even more complex.
What's truly revolutionary here is how these technologies aren't evolving in isolation. They're amplifying each other, creating exponential innovation potential. Multimodal AI goes beyond processing just text or images. It allows AI to seamlessly process and synthesize information from multiple modalities at once: sight, sound, language, even touch, leading to a far more holistic, nuanced understanding, closer to human cognition.
Like understanding context better.
Much better. Imagine a customer service AI analyzing not just chat text, but also voice tone in a call, subtle facial cues from video, combining it all to grasp true sentiment. The artificial intelligence of things, or AIoT, transforms individual IoT devices into intelligent interactive networks. These devices sense, process data at the edge, make autonomous decisions in real time, leading to unprecedented efficiency and hyper-personalization in physical environments.
And quantum, that feels further out.
It is longer term, but the convergence of AI and quantum computing, quantum AI, holds immense promise, accelerating complex AI model training exponentially, solving optimization problems currently impossible, inspiring entirely new AI algorithms, potentially revolutionizing fields like drug discovery, material science, financial modeling. The governance angle for these convergences is profound. While they unlock exponential innovation, they also introduce vastly increased systemic complexity, unprecedented scale, and entirely new types of risks. Robust, adaptable governance frameworks become more critical than ever before.
So given this accelerating pace, the regulatory future and ethical shifts around AI are going to be a constant presence. Intelligent Advantage emphasizes that the era of AI developing in a regulatory vacuum is definitively over. What are the practical, proactive steps for C-suite leadership in this dynamically evolving landscape? Can't just wait and see, right?
Absolutely not. This brings us to a fundamental question about proactive engagement, not just reactive compliance. Leaders need to actively engage in policy discussions, standard-setting bodies, contribute their expertise, help shape workable, pragmatic regulations rather than just waiting for rules to be imposed on them. Developing robust and agile internal AI governance frameworks is paramount. This goes way beyond mere compliance. It means proactively embedding ethical principles into every stage, defining clear roles, maybe an AI ethics board, a chief ethics officer implementing rigorous risk assessment, transparency, accountability mechanisms.
Culture matters too.
Hugely. Championing a culture of responsible AI from the very top, ensuring it's part of the organization's DNA. Investing in holistic AI fluency that explicitly includes ethical implications in leader education. And engaging in strategic scenario planning to anticipate different regulatory futures and their impacts allows leaders to pivot proactively. Ultimately, it's all about building what the book calls trust capital.
And trust capital is truly the strategic asset here, demonstrating a tangible, unwavering commitment to ethics, responsibility, transparency, genuinely differentiates an organization, and fosters societal acceptance. How do tools like executive foresight specifically help leaders anticipate these ethical and regulatory landscapes, helping to build that trust proactively?
What's really impactful here is how AI itself can augment strategic foresight, making it more actionable. Horizon scanning, traditionally labor-intensive, is revolutionized by AI. It can automate continuous monitoring of vast, diverse data sources, scientific papers, patents, news, social media, regulatory proposals, detecting those weak signals, those early subtle indicators of significant change.
Finding needles in haystacks.
Exactly. AI can also significantly enhance scenario narratives and planning by rapidly generating a wider range of plausible futures, quantifying their potential impacts, stress testing strategies against these diverse scenarios, and weak signal mapping and analysis, where AI identifies faint but meaningful patterns hinting at significant future changes, provides crucial lead time for leaders to adapt and prepare. These foresight tools aren't just for strategic planning, they directly help leaders proactively manage the ethical and regulatory landscape. They enable building robust ethical AI programs, thereby reinforcing the organization's commitment to responsible AI, which in turn builds that indispensable trust capital.
Wow. What a tremendous amount of ground we've covered in this deep dive. We've truly pulled directly from the incredible insights within Intelligent Advantage by Ryan Beckett. It really solidifies the idea that in this rapidly evolving age of AI, a company's true, enduring competitive advantage won't just be built on the sheer brilliance of its algorithms or the vastness of its data. Instead, it will be forged and defended by the depth of the trust it cultivates through an unwavering, deeply embedded commitment to ethical governance. So the final question for you listening is, how will you ensure trust is truly your organization's deepest moat?
A powerful thought to consider. It really demands proactive leadership, doesn't it?
It really does. To truly master the concepts we've discussed today and really equip yourself to lead effectively in this age of Intelligent Advantage, you absolutely need to grab your copy of the book Intelligent Advantage by Ryan Beckett on Amazon today. Just search for the title, Intelligent Advantage. It's all in there. Thank you so much for tuning into the Leading with AI podcast. We truly hope this deep dive has provided you with valuable insights and hopefully some actionable steps for your own journey into responsible AI. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep leading with intelligence and integrity.